So this week we're going to look at chapter 3, being a wise downloader. So how do I save information on the internet to my computer? Let's have a look at this video.
What are you copying here, Doctor? I am doing a research on environmental conservation. I need to create a
Okay, so let's have a look then. So let's read here. There are numerous types of websites on the internet provides you with all sorts of information. You can do your homework by copying text or downloading files or pictures on web pages. So let's download some useful information from the website of Ocean Park. So first what we can do is we can take our mouse and we can just click right on here. Now, if you're using a laptop, remember we use 2 fingers. Now, what we can do is we can go to the Ocean Park website and let's look at something. Let's find something. What have we got? Why don't we look at experience and let's look at attractions. Okay, so we can look at some thrill rides maybe, and we'll look at the Arctic Blast. That looks cool. And you can see here's some information. So what we do is we click and drag with our finger, so we don't let our finger come up off the mouse. Once it's selected and you can see it's blue, we then right click and you can see it has copy. So what do we then do? Well, then we can click copy and we can go to a Word document and we can paste it. So let's do that. Let's just do it on Google Docs. Okay, let's just do it on Word. And we've got 2 ways. So we can see that if we go into this corner, we've got this paste button and we can paste it. Or did you see when I hovered over it, we had this shortcut Control+V. So it's like when we make a capital letter in lesson, we hit Control and V. Okay, and look, there's my text. So it saved me copying it and writing it out. So that's how we copy information. Now let's look at how we can maybe download some pictures. Okay, so we can do the exact same. Let's go back to our, let's go to attractions, and let's look at animals, and let's look at the Giant Panda Adventure. Okay, so we look, there's a really nice picture there. So what I can do is I can right click or double click with my two fingers, and you see instead of copying image, I have a save image as. You can save that image. And it comes up with Giant Panda Adventure JPEG. I just click save. Okay, so let's go back to our lesson. And now this document is downloaded onto our computer. We can insert this picture. So let's go back to our document. And what we're going to do is we're going to click enter, and we see this eye is a bit further down. We're going to go insert. We're going to go to pictures. Okay, and then I need to look at my downloads because that's where I just downloaded. And the Giant Panda Adventure 2. So I insert. And there you go. There's my picture of a panda bear eating the grass. So there's two ways where I can copy text and save a picture. Okay. Now we're going to look at downloading files. Okay. Now, when we download files, we have to be very careful about what websites we're downloading for. Now, what I would like you to do is I want you to go to Scratch Junior. This is going to be something we're going to do later on, okay? Now, you can download this on a tablet or on your computer. And you can see that we can download on multiple sources. So if you're using an Apple device or Google, or available in the Google Chrome web store. That's why I'm on Google Chrome now. So I click on that link and look, it gives me this extension. Okay, so this is not compatible on my computer. So let's look, see if there's another Google Scratch Junior download. So Scratch Junior download Mac. So are we using a Mac or are we using a Windows? So you might need your parents to help you with this. And there we have a download button. So I'm using a Windows computer. So I click download. And you can see now that in this bottom corner, it's starting to download. Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes left. So let's go back to lesson one. That's downloading. So let's have a look here. Some common file formats. Well, we're using PDFs at the moment, like in the maths work which I'm setting. We can have documents, which some other lessons are setting. Got PowerPoint, Excel. PowerPoint is the presentations I do in the videos. Excel is something which we use for collecting large amounts of data. I can show you an example of that. That would be, say I've got an online work record. So you can see I've got some P4 students in here, and I've got all their names, all their email addresses, and then the work and who submitted what stuff. So it's good for collecting large amounts of data. I've got a JPEG, which is a photo, which we just saw. These Windows Media Players are the formats of the videos which I'm posting now. Zip file and RAW file are something which they are large files which would take too long to download. So what we do is, imagine you're packing your clothes to go on a trip, on a holiday trip, and you squeeze them all into your suitcase. So then you can easily travel them about instead of just carrying them all in your hands. That's basically what these are. It's different. Instead of carrying all your clothes, you're stuffing it into a tight bag. And then we've got .exe, which is a window installer wizard. Now, let's have a look down here. And we can see our Scratch Junior is finished downloading in our .exe here file. So we're going to click it. And it says opening Scratch Junior. So we're going to have to wait a little second for it to open. And look, I've got an interesting person now bouncing a ball up. So I'm just waiting because this is going to run an install program. We're going to do Scratch Junior in a couple of chapters. So whilst downloading or learning about downloading, why don't we download the program we're going to need for later? Okay, so we can see that it's still installing. Now this might take a while. Okay, so let's just go back to our lesson. Okay, so there are many useful resources on the internet. You can copy or download text or pictures and use them in your homework. However, it is important to give credits to the author or creator of these resources in your work before downloading files on the internet. What does that mean? So if I just take this work about Ocean Park, well, I didn't take that picture and I didn't write that text. So if I just copied and pasted that and sent it to a teacher as my own work, that's committing copyright or plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you copy work and you don't say where it's come from. So something which I can easily do is I can either say author, I can put Ocean Park website, and then because websites change regularly, I can put a date there. So I put the 13th, 03, 2020, and I'm going to say that I downloaded it at approximately 1940. Okay. And so this way I've now credited that this work has been made by the Ocean Park website. We can see that I've got a green bar. It's still installing. It's getting closer. So let's go back to our lesson. Okay. And then here's a task for you to try and complete. Okay. Visit the website for Ocean Park, click conservation, then click conservation matters. Read and post into a WordPad, and you can click and do this onto our work. Okay. Now let's go and have a look at how our download file is doing it. Where are you using Scratch Junior? Well, I'm going to say that I'm using it at home. And there we go. I've got my Scratch Junior and it's now ready to go. So here we go. Scratch Junior, got a file, got a project, and this is all I need to get to up to now. Okay. So Scratch Junior is just an introductory programming language. Okay. So this is what we're going to do in a couple of weeks' time. So post a comment on this homework once you've done this chapter. Obviously there'll be theory questions as well, and there'll still be the practical of the typing club, but post that you've managed to download Scratch Junior. So then that way, if anyone hasn't managed to do it or struggle with it, I can give you some help. Hey, thank you, P2. Hopefully you enjoy this lesson.